I am 78 years old. I have survived 3 assassination attempts. I have survived federal prison. I have survived the collapse of everything I built. And I have survived the version of myself that believed in loyalty, in honor, in the code. I am standing in the ruins of what used to be an empire. I can see the ashes. And before I go, I need to turn around and tell you, the people who still believe in the fairy tale, what I saw. Because you are living a lie. You think loyalty means something. You think the handshake means something. You think blood is thicker than water. Let me tell you about the night I watched the Genovese family try to take Harlem. Let me tell you about the moment I realized the Italian Mafia was going to betray us all. It was 1972. I was sitting in the back room of the Cotton Club. The air was thick with cigar smoke and expensive cologne. Across from me sat Vincent the Chin Gigante. He wasn't crazy yet. Or maybe he was, and that was the whole point. Vincent leaned forward, his diamond pinky ring catching the light, and he said to me, "Harlem is changing. The old guards are dying. We need to establish order. We need to work together." Work together. Those were his exact words. I remember because I wanted to believe them so badly. See, back then, I thought we were building something. I thought the families, black and Italian, we were creating a structure, a system, something that would last. Vincent laid out the plan. The Genovese family would provide protection. They would handle the politicians, the cops, the judges. We would handle the streets, the numbers, the distribution, 50-50 split. Partners. I shook his hand that night. His grip was firm. His eyes were steady. And I walked out of that room thinking I had just secured the future. 3 weeks later, I found out what work together really meant. My lieutenant, a man named Marcus, he came to me at 2 a.m. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. He said, "They hit the warehouse on 145th. They took everything. The product, the cash, the books. Everything." I said, "Who?" Even though I already knew. You always know. Your gut tells you before your brain wants to accept it. Marcus looked at me and said, "Genovese soldiers. They had a list. They knew exactly where everything was. They knew the shift changes. They knew the safe combinations. Someone had given them the blueprint. Someone on the inside. And that someone was working directly with Vincent. I called an emergency meeting. I brought in the heads of every operation in Harlem. I laid out what happened. And I watched their faces. Some were angry, some were scared. But a few had this look. This guilty, cornered look. That is when I understood. The betrayal was not just Vincent. It was systemic. The Italians had been planting seeds for months, offering better deals, offering protection from me, turning my own people against me. I confronted Vincent 2 days later. We met at the same place, the Cotton Club. But this time the room felt different, colder. He did not offer me a drink. He did not smile. I said, "You hit my warehouse." He said, "I have no idea what you are talking about." I said, "We had a deal." We shook hands. And Vincent, he leaned back in his chair, and he said something I will never forget. He said, "Deals are for equals. You were never equal. You were useful. Now you are not." Just like that. No apology. No pretense. Just cold, brutal honesty. I wanted to kill him right there. I had a gun in my jacket. I could have ended it. But his soldiers were outside. My soldiers were compromised. And I realized in that moment that I had already lost. The war that followed was not a war. It was a slaughter. The Genovese family did not just want Harlem. They wanted to erase us. They wanted to send a message to every black operation in the city. You exist at our pleasure. They hit our clubs. They hit our gambling houses. They turned our suppliers. They bought our cops. And the ones who resisted, the ones who stayed loyal, they ended up in the river. I lost 14 men in 6 months. 14. Men who believed in me. Men who thought loyalty meant something. Men who died because I shook Vincent's hand. The feds came for me in 1974. Racketeering, conspiracy, murder. They had evidence I had never seen before. Wiretaps I did not know existed. Testimonies from people I trusted. I sat in that courtroom and I realized the Genovese family had not just taken Harlem. They had gift-wrapped me for the government. They had cleaned up their mess and made me the villain. I did 12 years. When I got out, Harlem was unrecognizable. The Italians had moved in, taken over, and then moved on. The neighborhood I fought for was a ghost town. The people I protected were gone. And Vincent was still out there, pretending to be insane, walking around in a bathrobe, mumbling to himself, playing the system, laughing at all of us. So why am I telling you this? Why am I dragging up this old bloody history? Because you need to understand something about power, about loyalty, about the game. You think the handshake means something. It does not. It is a performance, a transaction. The moment you stop being useful, the moment you stop generating value, that handshake evaporates like smoke. You think loyalty is real. It is not. Loyalty is a tool. It is something powerful people use to control you. They demand your loyalty while they calculate how to betray you. I see young people today, in the streets, in the boardrooms, in the startups, making the same mistake I made. They think the partnership is real. They think the investor cares. They think the corporation values them. Let me tell you what I learned in that back room with Vincent. Let me tell you what 12 years in prison taught me. Number 1. Never mistake a transaction for a relationship. Vincent did not betray me because he was evil. He betrayed me because it was profitable. The moment the math changed, I became expendable. In your world, this looks different. Your boss is not Vincent Gigante. Your partner is not the Genovese family. But the principle is the same. You are valued for what you produce. The second you stop producing, you are gone. The job posting goes up before your goodbye email. Number 2. Trust your gut, not their words. I knew something was wrong the moment Marcus walked in that night. But I had ignored the signs for weeks. The missed meetings, the vague answers, the delays. Your gut is smarter than your hope. When something feels wrong, it is wrong. Do not talk yourself out of it. Do not let their smooth words override your instincts. Number 3. Build your own foundation. I made the mistake of thinking Vincent's protection was my strength. It was my weakness. The moment I relied on him, I gave him power over me. Whatever you are building, business, career, life, make sure it stands on its own. Do not build on someone else's land. Do not rely on someone else's permission. Because the moment they decide to take it back, you have nothing. Number 4. Document everything. The reason the feds had so much evidence was because the Genovese family kept records. They documented every deal, every transaction, every conversation, and then they handed it over. In your world, this means emails, contracts, paper trails. If someone promises you something, get it in writing. If someone makes a deal, document it. Because when the betrayal comes, and it will come, you need proof. Number 5. Know when to walk away. I should have walked away the moment Vincent said, "You were never equal." I should have taken my remaining people and rebuilt somewhere else. But I was proud. I was angry. And pride and anger make you stupid. There is no shame in retreat. There is no dishonor in survival. The men who died for me, they are gone. The empire I fought for, it is dust. But I am still here. And sometimes, that is the only victory that matters. I sit here now, 78 years old, and I do not replay the glory days. I do not romanticize the power, the money, the respect. I replay the warning signs I ignored. I replay the handshake with Vincent. I replay the moment I chose ego over instinct. The Genovese family did not just try to take Harlem. They succeeded. And they succeeded because I believed in something that did not exist. I believed in honor among thieves. I believed in the code. I believed in loyalty. But here is the truth they do not tell you in the movies, in the books, in the stories. There is no code. There is no honor. There is only power. And power does not share. It consumes. So here is my challenge to you. Here is what I need you to understand before you make the same mistake I did. Stop believing in fairy tales. The partnership is not real. The loyalty is not real. The handshake is not real. It is all a game. And in the game, you are either the player or the piece. Protect yourself first, not your boss, not your partner, not the company, not the family. You. Because when the betrayal comes, you will be alone. Build something that cannot be taken. Not an empire, not a reputation. Build skills. Build knowledge. Build relationships based on mutual value, not blind loyalty. And most importantly, listen to the warning signs. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When the deal feels wrong, it is wrong. When your gut screams danger, run. I did not listen. I paid the price. 14 men paid the price. An entire neighborhood paid the price. Do not be me. Do not shake hands with Vincent. Do not believe in the code. The Genovese family taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. Loyalty is a lie sold to the weak by the strong. I am tired now. Learn from my mistakes. Protect yourself. Trust no one. Survive.